This is the similar figures worksheet. So 15 questions looks like this. Okay. The directions for number 1 and 2 say, for each pair of figures below, identify each pair of congruent angles and proportional sides. Well, we know similar figures have congruent angles and proportional sides. So let's start with the angles. We know angle J is going to correspond with angle S. So we know angle J and angle S are congruent. Angle M corresponds with angle V. So we know angle M and angle V are congruent, right? If we rotate this trapezoid around 180 degrees, all these pieces are going to line up. So J and S, M and V, K is congruent with T, angle K is congruent with angle T, and angle L is congruent with angle U. Again, if we redrew this one, if we rotate it 180 degrees, it's going to look something like this, okay, where you have T and U and S and V. Okay. So those are angles that match up, J and S, M and V, K and T, L and U. Then our corresponding sides, right? We know our sides are proportional, so JK and ST. We also have JM and SV. Okay, we have ML and BU. And lastly, we have KL and TU. Okay, so those are our 4 pairs of corresponding angles, and those are congruent. Here's our 4 pairs of corresponding sides, and these sides are proportional, meaning all these sides are going to be equal. ML over BU, KL over TU. Okay, so there's our proportions. Here's our congruent angles. Okay, number 2 is the same thing. 2 is the same way. So we want to name our corresponding angles that are congruent. So angle A is going to correspond with angle X. So they're congruent. Angle B corresponds with angle Y. So they're congruent. And angle C corresponds with angle Z. So they're congruent. Okay. We were told this by the arcs, right? C has 1 arc, and so does angle Z. So C and Z are congruent angles. A and X both have 2 arcs. So angle A and angle X are congruent angles, meaning by the angling of postulate, we know the 2 triangles are similar. So angle B and angle Y have to also be the same. Okay. Proportional sides. So again, the easy way to do this is to look for the smallest, the largest, and the ones in the middle. So CB and ZY are the 2 smallest numbers here, 3 and 6. So we know CB and ZY are corresponding sides. Okay, then we want to look for the middle numbers. That's going to be 8 and 4. So we know that AB and XY are corresponding sides. And lastly, AC and XZ are corresponding sides. So there's our proportions. Here's our congruent angles. Okay. And then we would see all of these are going to equal 1/2. The scaling factor here would be 1/2. Okay. Number 3. Okay. Directions are saying that determine whether or not the polygons are similar. If so, write the similarity ratio and a similarity statement. So number 3, are these triangles similar? Okay. So there's 3 ways we can show that triangles are similar. There's angle-angle similarity, which says that if we have 2 pairs of congruent angles, then the triangles are similar. We have side-side-side similarity, which says if we have 3 pairs of corresponding sides that are proportional, then the triangles are similar. And last one is side-angle side. So if you have 2 pairs of sides, 2 pairs of corresponding sides that are proportional, and the pair of included angles are congruent, then the triangles are similar. Okay. You could use all 3 of them for this problem. The easiest way, I think, to do it is angle-angle. So they're giving us 2 angles. We can easily find angle R. So the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180 by the triangle sum theorem. So 180 minus 90 minus 53 is going to give us 37. Okay. We now have 2 angles that have the same angle measures. Therefore, we have 2 congruent angles. So it's similar, yes, by angle. Okay. Triangle RSQ is similar to triangle. What corresponds with R is Z. What corresponds with S is Z. Wait, what? With R? Oh, nope. What did I say? RSQ. So what corresponds with R? It's going to be U. Okay, our angle R is 37 degrees, angle U is 37 degrees, so it's going to be U. Corresponds with S is Z. Okay, then what corresponds with Q is X. Okay, we only need 2 angles. We know it's congruent. Similarity ratio. Okay, we want to find the ratio between the sides. So we got to find one side that's proportional. So what corresponds with SQ is going to be XZ. Right? These are corresponding sides. Lowest numbers. 21 over 24. Okay, which gives us 7/8. So our ratio is 7/8 or 8/7. Okay, this triangle is 7/8 the size of this one. This one is 8/7 larger than this one. Okay. We could have also used side angle side. Either one of those would work as well. We could have set the proportions up and made sure they all equaled each other. Let's do that just to see what it would look like. So we just set SQ and ZX because those are the 2 smallest numbers. Okay. Then we can also do 28 and 32. So that is RQ over ZU. And then finally 35 over 40, which is RQ and XU. What did RS and ZU? I'm really tired. RS and ZU. RQ and XU. Right, so that's going to be 35 out of 40, 28 out of 32, and 21 out of 24. Okay, all those fractions reduce to 7/8. Or side. Okay, again, and we can do side angle side as well. We'd have to show that 2 pairs of sides are proportional, 2 pairs of corresponding sides are proportional, and then the included angles are congruent. Ratio is going to be the same, so that's good for number 3. Okay, number 4. So these are rectangles. Okay, what do we know about rectangles? We know all of their angles are right angles. Okay. So how do we define similar figures, similar polygons? Well, if all their corresponding angles are congruent, all their pairs of corresponding angles are congruent, or all their sides are proportional, then the figures are similar. So we know all of the corresponding angles are congruent because all the angles are 90. We have 90, 90, 90, and 90, 90, 90, 90, and 90. So we know angle A is congruent to angle M, angle B is congruent to angle J, angle C is congruent to angle K, and angle D is congruent to angle L. Okay. So all four pairs of angles are congruent, so we know the triangles are similar. Triangle statement, we can do A, B, C, D is similar to triangle MJ, KL. MJ, KL. Okay. We could also prove it's true by side, side, side. Okay. What do we know about opposite sides of rectangles? We know opposite sides of rectangles are equal. So we can fill in the missing pieces here. Okay, we can set up some ratios. So AB is to MJ, and that should equal BC and JK, which should equal CD and KL, which should equal DA and LM. That is going to give us 18 over 24, 36 over 54, 18 over 24, and 36 over 54. 18 over 24 is going to reduce to 3/4. 36 over 54 is not going to be 3/4. Look at that. These are not going to be similar triangles. Okay. 36 divided by 54. Let's see, how can we reduce that? 18 over 27, 2/3. 18, 18, and 18. So these triangles are no. Right? My bad. Okay, so similarity ratio. Nope. Okay, and then there's going to be no similarity statement, right? So you need to have four pairs of congruent sides. Four pairs of congruent angles, and all the sides need to be proportional. All of our sides here are not proportional. So therefore, we can't say the figures are similar. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, no. You got to have both, all four angles congruent and all four sides proportional for a quadrilateral, two quadrilaterals to be similar. Okay. Number 5. So the question says the ratio of the model car. Okay, the ratio of the model car's dimensions to the actual car's dimensions is 1 over 56. The model has a length of 3 inches. What is the length of the actual car? So here's our model car, and here's our actual car, the model of the actual car. So there's the model, and the model of the actual car. Okay. It's saying the dimensions of the actual car, the model car to the actual car is 1 to 56. So our ratio is 1 to 56. The actual car is 56 times greater than the model car. The model car is 1/56 the size of the actual car. The model car has a length of 3 inches. What is the length of the actual car? Well, if the length of the model is 3 inches, this one has to be 56 bigger, so you larger. So you have to do 3 times 56. If we want to set up a proportion, we want to say 3 is to x as 1 is to 56. So for every inch, the actual one is 56 inches. So for 3 inches, what is x? Okay, and this is how we set up our proportion. We're comparing the length of the model car to the actual car. Model, actual. Then you cross multiply. X is going to equal 3 times 56. So x is going to equal 168 inches. Okay, so this is 3 inches long. This is 168 inches. Okay. Number 6. Quadrilateral, so parallelogram. Okay, JKLM. Parallelogram, JKLM. Okay, or IKLM. So let's try them out. So here is IKLM, and then here is N, O, P, and Q. It's telling us the measured angle K is 75. Okay, name the 2 angles, 75-degree angles in parallelogram NOPQ. Okay, what do we know about opposite angles? We know opposite angles are congruent. So we know if angle K is 75, angle M is also 75. We know the triangles are similar. Therefore, corresponding angles are congruent. So angle K is congruent to angle O, and angle M is congruent to angle Q. Therefore, we know that the measure of angle O is going to be 75, and the measure of angle Q is also going to be 75. There's congruent angles. Corresponding angles in similar triangles are congruent. The angles are congruent. The angle pairs are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. Number 7. We have A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H. Okay, it's telling us they are similar. Okay. If they're similar, that means their angles are congruent. The corresponding angles are congruent, and the sides are proportional. So if the sides are proportional, what does AB correspond to? It corresponds to EF, and then BC corresponds with FG. So 4 over x plus 3 is going to equal 3 over 2x minus 4. Okay, cross multiply. We have 4 times 2x minus 4 equal, let me rewrite this, AB. Then we have 4. Okay, so then we get 4 times 2x minus 4 equals 3 times x plus 3. When we cross multiply, distribute 8x minus 16 equals 3x plus 9. Subtract 3x. 5x minus 16 equals 9. Add 16. 5x equals 25. Divide by 5. X equals 5. Okay. We want to double check. That's 5 plus 3 equals 8. 2 times 3 minus 4 equals 2. What's a 5? 2 times 5 minus 4 is 6. Okay. 4 over 8 equals 3 over 6. And so we know we have the right answer. They're similar, the sides should be proportional, meaning the ratios are equal, so we have the right value of x, which is 5. Number 8. Just again, solve for x. So here again, we have similar triangles. It tells us the two triangles are similar. MNP and XYZ. Okay. We know MN corresponds with XY. Okay, that doesn't help us. We know NP corresponds with YZ. NP and YZ. Okay, and we know MP corresponds with XZ. Okay. So since the triangles are similar, we know the sides are proportional, so the ratios between the corresponding sides are equal. So this gives us 4x minus 10 over 75 is equal to x plus 5 over 30. Okay, continue this down here. Cross multiply. So we're going to get 30 times 4x minus 10 equals 75 times x plus 5. So that's going to be 120x. Distribute 120x minus 300 equals 75x. 70, that's 150, 375. Okay, subtract 75x from both sides. 45x minus 300 equals 375. Add 300. 45x equals 675. Divide by 45. X is going to be equal to 15, 12. I don't know. Let me check. Calculator. Um, 675 divided by 45. It's 15. Okay. Solve for x, that's our solution. Okay, let's see if that's right though. This is going to be 20. 15 plus 5 is 20. 4 times 15 is 60. 60 minus 10 is 50. So 20 is 230, as 50 is 275. That's 2/3 equals 2/3. We have the correct answer. Number 9. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Which value of y makes the two rectangles similar? So basically it's find the value of y. Assume they're similar and find the value of y. Okay, so they're rectangles. What do we know about rectangles? We know opposite sides are equal. So that's a y. That's 14.4. That's 4.8. That's 8.4. Okay. So what corresponds with this piece? It's going to be 4.8. So 8.4 over 4.8. It's going to equal y. What does y correspond with? 14.4. Okay. We don't need to do all of them because we know any two sides are proportional. We know all the sides are proportional. That means any two sides are proportional. So we can set up this ratio here. Okay, we want to cross multiply. 4.8y is going to equal 8.4 times 14.4. 18, or is it 8.4 times 14.4 is 120.96. So we have 4.8y equals 120.96. Divide by 4.8. And we get y equals 25.2, which is choice C. Okay, we can plug it into. So we should make sure we have the right answer. 8.4 divided by 4.8 should equal 25.2 divided by 14.8. 14.4. Okay, so 8.4 divided by 1.75. And then 25.2 divided by 14.4. 25.2 is 1.75. So we know we have the correct answer in C because the sides are proportional. Okay, number 10. The similarity ratio of triangle CGL to triangle MPS is 5.2. What is the length of PS? Okay. First thing we want to figure out are corresponding sides. So we know CG corresponds with MP. So 40. We're looking for PS. Okay. So that's not going to help us. We want PS. So let's make PSX. Okay. So what's going to correspond with PS? Okay, well, PS is the last two. So it's going to be GL. GL. Okay. So it's going to be GL. What do we know this ratio is equal to? CGL. So we got to do it the other way. So they're saying 5/2 is the ratio of CGL to MPS. So we got to flip it. GL is proportional to PS. And that's going to equal 5/2. So 20 over x equals 5/2. Cross multiply. That's 20 times 2 equals 5x. That's 40 equals 5x divided by 5. 8 is going to equal x. Okay. We can double check. We know 20 divided by 8 equals 5x. 5x. Number 11. Draw a triangle JKL and triangle MNP. Determine if you conclude that triangle JKL is similar to triangle MNP based on the given information. If so, which postulate theorems justify your responses? Okay. So let's do what they tell us and let's draw a triangle. Okay, this is JKL and triangle MNP. Okay. This one's saying angle K is congruent to angle N. Okay, and we know that JK, which is right here, and MN, the ratio between these sides is going to be equal to the ratio between KL and NP. So are these, can we conclude that they're similar? So we have three ways. We have angle, angle. We have side, 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 and side, angle, side. Okay, if two pairs of corresponding angles are congruent, then we know the triangles are similar. If all three sides are proportional, meaning the ratios between the corresponding sides are all equal, then the triangles are similar. And lastly, we have side, angle, side, which says if we have two pairs of corresponding sides that are proportional, and the included angles, the pair of congruent angles are congruent, then the triangles are similar. So here we have one pair of angles, okay, and then we have two pairs of sides that are proportional. So JK and MN are corresponding sides that are whose ratio is equal to that of KL and NP. So we can use side, angle, side to say yes by side, angle, side. The next one tells us angle J and angle M are congruent. Then it tells us JL and MP are corresponding angles, and KL and NP. Okay. So the issue here, we have two pairs of corresponding sides whose ratios are equal. Therefore, those two sides are proportional. Okay. But to have side, angle, side, the angle needs to be the included angle. It needs to be between the two sides. So that would have to be angle L and angle P. So the angle is not included, so the answer is going to be no. Not the included angle. Okay, it's got to be between the corresponding sides that are proportional. The sides that are proportional. All right, this one was between the two sides. Okay, number 12. Error analysis. Which solution for the value of y is incorrect? Explain the error. Explain the error. Okay, so first one, we have triangle ABE is similar to triangle CDE by angle similarity. Therefore, okay, so let's draw these two triangles out. So we have A, B, and E. Okay, and then we have C, D, and E. Okay, and let's label our diagram. So this is 14. Okay, this is 10. This is y plus 8, right? It's a whole thing, so it's y plus 8. Okay, and this one is just 8. Okay. It's telling us the triangles are similar by angle similarity. Right? They're going to share angle E. Okay. So we know angle A is congruent to angle C, and angle E is congruent to angle E. This is given. This is reflexive. Okay, so we can use angle similarity to show that triangle ABE is similar to triangle CDE. Okay, let's see what they did. So in example A, we have triangle ABE is similar to triangle CDE by angle. So 14 over 8, y plus 8 is going to equal 10 over 8. Okay, that's going to work. Okay, so they have 14 over 8 plus y. So the way we usually write it would be 14 over 10 equals y plus 8 over 8. But the difference, the ratio of these two sides should equal the ratio of those two sides as well. So that one looks like it's good. Okay, then they cross multiplied and solved. Here though, their error is going to be right here. They put 8 instead of y plus 8. Nope, their error is here. They put y instead of y plus 8. This should say y plus 8. Okay, this whole piece right here is y plus 8. Okay, this y and then 8, so y plus 8. Okay. So our explanation is that the whole length of AE is AC plus. So AC plus CE equals AE. So y plus 8 equals 8. 13. Can we have parallelograms? Parallelogram ABCD is similar to EFGH, which similarity postulator theorem lets you conclude that triangle BCD is similar to a triangle FHE. Well, if we have a similar parallelogram, similar quadrilaterals, we can know that the angles are congruent. So angle A is congruent to angle E. Angle B is congruent to angle F. Angle C is congruent to angle G. And angle D is congruent to angle H. Okay, can we... Am I writing dark enough? I think this pen's dying. Okay, angle A and E, B and F, C and G, angle D and angle H. Okay. We also know the sides are proportional, so AB over EF is going to equal BC over FG, which is going to equal CD over GH, which is going to equal DA over HE. Okay. So our question is, are these two triangles congruent? Is triangle BCD and FGH congruent? Are those two triangles congruent? I mean, are they similar? Are they similar? So what do we know? We know that angle C is congruent to angle G. Okay. We know that right here, okay, BC and FG are corresponding sides of those triangles. Okay, and then DC and HG are corresponding sides, and we know that those ratios are equal. So since those ratios are equal, and angle C is congruent to angle G, we have side, angle, side. So are they similar? Yes, by side, angle, side. Worried that this marker was too light, but I think it's... No one will watch this video probably, so it doesn't matter. Okay, 14 and 15. 14 and, or you just have to listen to my voice. Okay, 14 and 15. To find the height of a dinosaur, in a museum, so it's not a real dinosaur, it's a dinosaur in a museum. Amir placed a mirror on the ground 40 feet from its base. Then he stepped back 4 feet so that he could see the top of the dinosaur in the mirror. The mirror's eyes were approximately 5'6" off the ground. Well, we know 6 inches out of 12, so we know this is going to be 5.5 feet. Okay, 5.5 feet. They even show us, we know what happens here is the light comes down, it reflects off the dinosaur. It comes down, hits the mirror, it reflects off the mirror at the same angle it came in and hit the mirror at, and then comes up and hits our eyes. So these angles are the same. We're standing both in a upright position at a 90-degree angle. So we know by angle similarity that these two triangles are similar. If the triangles are similar, what do we know about the sides? We know the sides are proportional. So if we make the height of the dinosaur x, we know 5.5 is to x as 4 is to 40 feet. Okay, it's going to be 10 times larger. This triangle is 10 times, right? Our scaling factor here is 10. 4 times 10 is 40. So this is 10 times larger. So 4x is going to equal 40. You cross multiply. 4x is 40 times 5.5, which is 80, 160, plus 60. $220. Then we divide by 4. 54. 55. X is 55. Right, which is what we said. 5.5 times 10 is 55 feet. Okay, so 5.5 out of 4 is going to equal 55 out of 40. All right. Last one. Okay. Jenny is 5 feet 2 inches tall. To find the height of the light pole, she measured her shadow. In the pole shadow, what is the height of the pole? All right. So she's 5'2", and her shadow is 7'9". So we can say that's 7.75 feet. Yeah, 7.75 feet. Okay. So 5, this is 5 1/6 feet. Okay. Which is 31/6. 31/6 feet. Was 1.667. So let's just say 5.1667. Okay, feet. So the shadow coming from the sun is going to be the same. Okay, so we're going to have, again, angle similarity. All right, you have sunshine up here, and it's coming down, and we have a shadow. It's going to be the sun's more or less. It's so far away, the angle is essentially the same. The angle isn't exactly the same, but it's so far away, the sun is so far away that it's essentially the same. So these are similar triangles. So then we can set up a proportion. right? X is to 5.1666667 as 15.5 is to 7.75.
Please excuse this interruption. Students, if you're in need of a coat, you can go to room A208A for a free coat if you're in need of one. Also, at the tractor and in the My Free office, there are gloves and mittens for free. So if you need gloves or mittens, go to the tractor or to A120A.
15.5 times 5 times 1/6. It's 2.5833. Divide by 7.75. Why didn't that work out? Oh, 5 and 1/6. 15.5 times 5.16666. 80 point. Okay, we divide by 7.75. We get 10.3333. So X is going to be 10.333 feet. Okay. So the height of the pole is 10.333 feet. Okay. So that is the 15 questions from the similar figures worksheet.